Hey guys, welcome once again to Okra Kitchen. Today we're going to do the simple thing of chicken soup with some fish flavors. Yeah, so here I've got some carrots and potatoes, some chicken, some scotch bonnets, some smoked fish, onions, and I've started with the onions a bit in the cooker there. Yeah, slow heat for now. And basically what we're going to do is slowly start frying up some of the onions with the garlic and ginger, onions, and a few more ingredients. So just hang on with me as we continue on our journey to make some good sweet chicken soup with smoked fish flavor. And the most important thing is when you're doing this, make sure that your onions don't burn. So I need to find a spoon, a big spoon, to do the job. So as you can see, I've started with the onions and a little bit of oil, because the chicken soup, the chicken has some oil in it, and you will see what I'm trying to try and do. Make sure that the chicken is the main ingredient in this in terms of providing the flavor. So I'm putting in some nice wings for now. These are going to give the soup this flavor, but we're not going to cook it, overcook it. We just put it in for now. So those are the chicken wings put in there. Want some slow heat for now. Other stuff I can put in is some of the ginger and garlic which I've got here, and I've chopped them basically. Now the ginger and garlic, you don't need to chop them too. Normally some people would put them in the blender and grind them. I normally like them in there whilst I'm doing it for now. So I put them in there directly. Yeah, so that's it basically. And you just chuck them in there. That's it. Try to get all the flavors together. At the same time, I'm going to put in some of the other chicken pieces which I've got here. As you can see, there's some big chicken pieces that I've got here, and we're going to put them in just to fry them as well. But we'll take them out at some point. So there they go, straight in. Don't worry, just put them in and stir. Yeah, make sure you stir the whole thing and get all the juices and everything out. Yeah. Don't worry about the fact that the onions, I mean, you can check it and see if you want to. There we go. Now, I hope you can all see inside. Yeah. There we go. I'll be taking them out at some point for now. Yeah. So let's just continue with that. That's our chicken soup base basically. You need to sort of get this chicken initially come up with some good flavors in there. I think the light shines better this way, so I'll put it this way and I show you as we go along what I'm doing. Okay, so I've got this tin of chopped tomatoes which I'm just gonna put in the blender. Yeah, it would go in the blender quickly. Yeah, there you go, straight in the blender. Fill a bit of water in there. Yeah, so I've got some water in there, put that in there. Yeah, now I've got a cube of ginger which I'm going to cut and put in there. I had some ginger on here, but I still got some ginger to put some ginger in the main tabbouleh. Yeah, guys, in any case, if you like it subscribing. If you don't like it, no subscribing. Okay, let's just get on with this. So I've got some Scotch bonnets as well. These are the Scotch bonnets, which I brought all the way from Ghana. Now I'm going to put them in the blender, not all of them. So I'm going to leave one or two in there. Yeah, another one in there, just like that. And the rest I'm going to blend with the other stuff in there, okay? There we go. Put a few back in there. So we can put this one away for now. I hope you're all with me now. At the moment, all I've done is the onions, the chicken and the Scotch bonnets in here, yeah? Just to give them that, give us that start of the soup. And the flavor we're gonna get out of it, yeah? At the moment, that's all we've done so far. Nothing complicated, nothing too out of the earth. It's not rocket science for now, yeah? Okay. So, in the meantime now, I'm going to look for some of the spices which I can put in there. Now I've got special, normally, I love using some of the all-purpose, but again, you have to be very careful how much spice you use in this. I'm just using a little bit of all-purpose for now. Most spices will come in a bit, yeah? Not just now. Once I've got this onions and the chicken in there, we're gonna get, it'll take a bit of time, not too high, a bit low, as you go along with it. Now whilst we're doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind this ready for later on. So yeah, so here I've got a Scotch bonnets, a tin of tomato, this one tin, and the ginger in there, yeah, which I'm gonna just grind a bit. Okay, another thing I'm gonna put in there is tomato paste, just to give it a bit of tomatoey consistency, yeah, not too much, but just a few teaspoons, you can say, of that. Probably I've got about half of this because it's going to be soup, you know? And so you want quite a lot in there just to get your tomato flavored soup. You can always add more as you go along, but for now we just use what we've got for now in there. So you can see the chicken is slowly but surely moving in here. Have a look. There we go. So we'll get in there. At some point I'm going to be removing almost all of the chickens. Yeah? Because there's one reason I'm going to do that. I don't want the chicken to become overcooked, because it's going to be soup and it's going to cook for quite a while. So in order to maintain the consistency of the chicken, you don't want the chicken all breaking in and getting all poorly, yeah? So normally you can use boiler chicken. I'm using the normal chicken, not a boiler. Boiler is a bit tougher, so can withstand making soup. So ideally that's the one you would use, but I'm using the normal chicken, which will do fine depending on the way you do it. You just have to be careful. So in the meantime now, I'm just going to remove some of the chicken pieces here and keep them for now. They're not cooked, not at all, but they're flavored nicely. So I'm going to take them out for now. They've cooked a bit. They'll be going back in at some point. So don't worry about that. Yeah. The reason we're taking them out is so they don't break. And then you have mashy chicken. Yeah, we don't want mashy chicken. So what I'm doing is I'm taking them all, almost all of them out. There's some wings in there. Now, the trick is I'm going to leave at some of those I've taken out, which I'll put here. and we leave it for now. I've left 2 or 3 chicken pieces in there, which is the chicken pieces from the wings. The wings will give that, I'll leave them still in, and they will give it that consistency in terms of the flavor would come out more if you leave them in for long. So they will provide, so we don't mind if those get broken, yeah? Or soft. Don't worry about that, because that's the whole point. We want this chicken soup to have nice chicken flavor. So I've chopped a few more onions, which I'm going to dump in here, yeah? And now, this is the time you're going to get your soup hopefully nicely with the spices. I've just put this onions in there, and that's the chicken I took out, which we're going to put in later. But now I'm going to mix this with some herbs and some nice spices. Now, some of the spices I use are general spices, nothing major. So again, we would need some Maggi. We know our famous Maggi. And always be careful when you put this on fire. Just make sure if you're doing something, you can take it off the fire a little because you don't want it to burn. So I'll put the Maggi's in there. You can use about 4 or 5 Maggi cubes, which should be fine because it's got to be soup and it's going to have flavor. So you need quite a few Maggi's in there. So that's number 3. Number 4. And let's add the last one, number 5. Yeah? Again, you want your soup to have that maximum flavor. Yeah? So, next thing I'm going to put in some black pepper, which everybody knows. Yeah? Put in about a teaspoon of black pepper. All-purpose seasoning again. Yeah? There's a lot of salt in all-purpose seasoning, so you've got to be careful how much you put in. Maybe about 2 or 3 teaspoons should do. Now, the other stuff that you can put in, all depends on your taste buds. Yeah? All depends on your taste buds in that sense. So, there's one thing I'm looking for which I can't find, and I know I had it, and that would have been just bear with me. I'm missing a spice, but we'll get it. Remember, I'm trying to get this chickens in there to be infused and to take up all the juices in there. Okay, there's one spice I'm looking for which I can't find, but I'll find it at some point. It's smoked paprika, but this is also kind of all. Normally I would use paprika, but I don't have so much paprika today, and the smoked paprika I had, for some reason, it's gone all, basically. So anyway, that can always be put in at some point later, yeah? In the meantime, just let's concentrate on how we're going to get this up and running, yeah? So at some point, I can show you again what's happening here. Put on some light so we can see better. And there it's darkening, but it's because I put in some black pepper as well, yeah? The smoked fish is there waiting to go in. That's the other chicken that I just sort of cooked a little bit. That we get in there. So I'm going to put some little bit of water in this. Now I had some paprika in here, which I'm going to continue. I'm going to sort of put some water in just to get some flavor of paprika. There you go. Put that in there. So just a little bit of water so you can scrape all the bottom bits because the spices are all in there. Now at some point I am going to add you can stir it, just make sure you don't burn it, because what you want is that chicken at the bottom, the chicken wings, to slowly melt. The skin melts slowly, and that will become part of your stock for your soup. No? So bear with me. I should show you again what's happening in here. We get in there slowly. So now I'm gonna add some of the fish I chopped up last, yeah? Okay, with some onions in there. This would give us the smoky flavor, yeah? I'll put that in. It will give the soup some smoky flavor, which is part of what you want. Now once you put that in, what I'm gonna do now is, now this is gonna get the soup. This is basically the stock of the soup, nah? With the fish and the chicken wings in there at the moment, 2 wings are left in there. They're just gonna cook and cook and cook and cook, bringing out the juices and bringing out the flavor. So eventually when everything else is put in there, we get our nice flavored chicken soup with a touch of smoked fish. So as I say again, it's not rocket science. Just be wary of burning, so you got to keep on stirring. Stir as much as you can. And remember, the main chicken is not going to go in now. No. So at this point, I'm going to put in the grinded tomato puree, yeah? And tin tomato I put in there. There was some garlic in there as well, yeah? And that's gonna go straight in there, yeah? Straight in there. Now I'm gonna fill this with some water, and remember, it's soup, so there's gonna be loads of water in there, yeah? So don't worry about that. There's gonna be loads of water in that soup, okay? So I'll get some water. So there you go. So that's some of the water I'll be putting in at some point. Now we need lots of water because it's soup. It's not sauce. Yeah. If I was making a stew, maybe, of course, you wouldn't want so much water. But the fact that I'm going to have this as a soup, and you can see, again, all the yummy flavors in there. Now, slowly, once the tomato goes in and it infuses with the chicken wings, which have a lot of flavor because they got a lot of skin on them, they will give this soup a flavor. Now the main chicken is not going to go in there now. No, the main chicken will go in there maybe about 20 minutes before the soup is cooked. Because if you put it in now, what you're going to have is shredded chicken, and you don't want shredded chicken in your soup. You want, like, you know, normal nice pieces of chicken. Now another trick I've added here is, because I've had some kids want to eat or want to drink the soup with me, sometimes people just want to have soup on its own. I've got some carrots here, not many, just one piece of potato and 2 carrots I've chopped here, which I put in the soup. And especially my son loves having the soup with some potatoes and carrots. But again, these wouldn't go in just yet, because if you put them in now, because the soup is going to cook for a while, they're going to get mushy. So you just got to wait, be patient, and put them in at the right time. Okay, guys, remember, If you like it, subscribe it. If you don't like it, please don't subscribe it. So there we go. This is getting more and more. Let me just show you what's happening here. Yeah, can you see what's happening here? Yes, everything is getting infused. The chicken, the smoked fish, the onions, the tomato paste with the garlic in there. Yeah, in terms of the garlic, some people like more garlic. I put about 4 garlic cubes in there, which was small garlic cubes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bit more garlic in, because garlic is good for you. Garlic is a very good addition to your diet, and some people don't like garlic, so you do it according to what your tastes are in that sense. Some people's tastes are not garlicky, so this is the powdered garlic I'm putting in there. Yeah, put about a teaspoon in there. Yeah, and that's it. You don't want the garlic to overpower it, so don't get too crazy with it. But yes, garlic, we've got lots of powdered stuff here. Again, what we could have done was we could have put a lot of other stuff. There's curry powder. Some people like to put a bit of curry powder just to give it that additional flavor. So it's up to you. I do it, but just a little, not much. Curry powder, just a little. I know it's not curry, but you'll be surprised what some of these spices, when they mix together, do. So just a little tablespoon. Don't worry about that. It's not gonna be curry soup, no. It's just bringing a touch of curry in that soup as you go along. Yeah. The other stuff that you can put in, which I don't have for now, so we'll leave that as is. Yeah. So you can see everything being infused in there and being cooking in there. Now, at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some water in here. Yeah, remember, because this is going to be soup, so we need to put in quite a bit of water in there. So I've filled this can, which is what I'm doing, and that is coming out nicely. We need to get the soup to a stage where will be boiling, and I shall show you what will happen at some point when it's boiling. There will be a lot of oil, the chicken oil, which will come up on the top eventually. Yeah, that's all part of the soup. Some people don't like that oil. You don't really need to have that oil, but it gives it that flavor, and it's because of the wings that I added in there. Without the chicken that we use on it, it's chicken thighs without the skin taken off. So, but it depends on what every individual wants. Some people like the chicken with the skin on. Well, all a question of taste, basically. Again, it's not rocket science. So I'm gonna put this a bit high now because I want it to bubble. I want it to boil. In the meantime, here I've got some smoked fish, and you may ask, these are huge. Yes, they're huge. I'm not going to break them like I broke the others. I had some other smaller ones I put in for more flavor. These are smoked fish I brought from Ghana. I think this is probably tuna or salmon, I'm not sure. This is also another big slice. It's all been smoked. Now they give a lot of flavor. Now I've cleaned them, yeah, and they will be going in the soup like this. I'm not going to chop them or do anything. I'm just going to put them in the soup like this. Big piece. It would be dumped in the soup. But again, you don't want it to be in the soup for that long, because otherwise it ends up breaking and your soup would end up being lots of fish pieces in soup. I generally like my soup not light soup, and then I have big pieces of fish which I can eat with it and stuff. Yeah, so again, this is going to be waiting to join the feast in a few, well, let's say in about quarter of an hour, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, all depending on, So for now, what I do is we'll keep it to simmer. Yeah, cover it with a nice top and let it simmer for a bit. Yeah, don't be scared to let it simmer. It can just simmer for a bit, and then at some point we shall come back and continue with the business. Yeah, so in the meantime, stay. If you like it, subscribe it. If you don't like it, don't subscribe it. But watch out for part 2 when the soup, the chicken soup infused with smoked fish is done.